Welcome to Inspired Women Amazing Lives podcast, where we seek to thrive, flourish, and celebrate amazing women. Kimberly Wiggins here, and we are hosting inspired women who are sharing their lives and stories so that other women may know that the journey to your amazing life is definitely within reach. We are here every week to share resources and information that will help you along the journey to being that inspired woman leading an amazing life. Remember to like, comment, and most definitely share these episodes with another woman that you admire and one who truly inspires you. Or simply share it with someone you would like to inspire. Enjoy. Welcome to Inspired Women Amazing Lives podcast. And I am so excited today, I can barely stand it. So, this is a special segment that I'm doing this month. I don't have a name for it yet, which is kind of funny, but I'll tell you what it's all about. I have three wonderful other guests on the show with me today, and we're actually going to dissect a business. I have a guest that's a business owner, and a guest that's a mindset coach and a marketing coach. And we are going to dissect a business a little bit and talk about it so that we're able to really just dive deep and give some good tips concerning mindset and marketing. Because I'm of the opinion that where mindset and marketing meet, is the sweet spot for your business. And that a lot of people will focus on marketing and miss the mindset piece. And without the two working together, it causes a lot of challenges and it causes people to really, really get stuck. So we're working on that today. So let's get started. Let me introduce my lovely guest for you. First of all, I have Miss Sondra Ray. And she is a goal accountability coach. Her passion is having business owners reach their goals by doing weekly accountability meetings and customized action plans. She loves to cheer business owners on to reach their goals. Woohoo, Sondra, love it. Next, meet Miss Val Selby. She is an empowerment coach who works with women like herself over 40. She has crossed over the fun side of 40. I'm in my 50s. I'm not sure there's a fun side of 40.
It gets funner, right?
Yes. So she works with women who help, and she works with women and helps to give them permission, help them to give themselves permission to do all the things they dream about, and that it is never too late to ever accomplish those dreams. The core theme in our coaching practices is helping women to live boldly with no regrets. I love that. And then we have Miss Jennifer Burke. Jennifer Burke is a fellow solopreneur and a marketing geek. Get that? A marketing geek. Wow. She loves researching so she can be current on all the trends and tools so you don't have to. With Jennifer, you want to take advantage of her knowledge and experience as a previous advertising executive, a researcher, a frequent speaker at conferences, and a marketing coach to solopreneurs. Ooh, she's got a lot of hats. She doesn't do BS, fluff, or theory, just practical, research-based, real information. She hates seeing her solopreneur pals spinning their wheels, frustrated with marketing or tech. So she helps you to get unstuck and find your personal marketing mojo. Ooh. Oh, wow. I feel so honored today. I'm in the company of greatness. So many
We
great.
feel equally honored. We're
I
in your
know.
greatness, Kimberly.
Thanks for having us.
Yes,
Although I
thank
think
you.
we're going to have a discussion about you not thinking you're on the fun side of 40. That sounds like a whole nother episode right there.
I know. Yes. So let's get started. Um let's get it started first with me having Sondra, who is our business guest owner. She's going to share a little bit about her story and what her business is all about. You're
Thank,
on, Sondra.
thank you so much, Kimberly, for having me on for your segment. And I am Sondra Ray, owner of Sondra Ray VA, and I am a goal accountability coach. And a little bit of background on me, I have done goal accountability, cheerleader, things for a couple of years now for a couple of different people. I had a friend that moved out of state and I started helping him online, setting goals. And I didn't call it that then. I called it virtual assistant. You know, I was just a virtual assistant that did goal accountability. And then last year, I decided that I really wanted to get into the business aspect of that. I wasn't happy in my full-time job and was really wanting to get out of the stress and the mental issues that I was having there. And I also wanted to be a more present mom. I was gone 12 to 14 hours a day, so I wasn't home much to be a present mom. And then my oldest got married, and then we found out she was pregnant at the end of last year, so I was becoming a grandparent and all that fun stuff. So I definitely kicked it into high gear, and I started doing it. I started doing more virtual assistance things to start out with. I was doing goal accountability, kind of sort of for people, but I was also doing some VA work for different people, and I got in with an agency that an owner that had she owned 5 businesses. So she hired me on as her we called it VA because I wasn't calling it that then. And basically I just started helping her keep track. She calls herself a creative ADHD person. So she's super creative, but she has ADHD, so she would bounce from one thing to another and not finish things. So so that's kind of how that got kickstarted into calling it goal accountability. So I held her accountable to her goals. And I've worked with several different clientele that usually have more than one business. Something about that creative personality I get drawn to. So I've been doing that a little over a year now, and in April I decided that I wanted to go full time. So I made a plan and was able to leave my day job at the end of July. And I've been a full-time business owner for the last 2 months. My grandson was born the end of August, so that has been a blessing, and it's been great to be able to pop in when I need to and watch him. And I got a call yesterday. Can you come help? And I was able to flip things around and being a business owner and get things done. Meant I had to work last night, but that was okay. In exchange for baby cuddles versus a couple of hours last night. So I got to do that, and then I've been able to change my youngest daughter to a different school, and to be able to be involved in that. And she has some health issues, so I'm able to be a little more involved versus grandma having to do a lot of that things. I'm very blessed with a nice supportive in-laws, but they were doing a lot of that stuff because I was working so much. So now I'm able to do that stuff. And so yeah, that's how I got into the business, and that's where I'm at now.
Very nice. Oh, wow. Yes, you just fit in perfectly with the rest of us gals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm 44, so I'm in the fun 40s.
Yep.
Yes. And so I heard a lot of really great things there, Sondra, about starting your VA business and evolving into goal accountability coaching. And sounds like you have a nice little niche there with some businesses, creative personalities who are running more than one business. That's great. It sounds like a nice little niche, because they're all over the place and normally need someone to hold their hand. So as far as accountability, so that sounds amazing. You've done an amazing. You've had a really amazing journey there, because you've been able to leave your 9 to 5 and be able to just be a full-time solopreneur. So kudos to you. Now, Sondra, that you have shared a little bit about your business, now here comes the tough questions. Woo! So, what challenges, Sondra, are you currently facing in your business around your mindset? Tell us a little bit about that, some of the challenges that you may be facing in regards to your mindset.
So I do try to keep a growth mindset. I've been on a health journey for over 7 years and lost over 100 pounds. So I know mindset's super important. So I know what mindset's supposed to be, but getting there and staying in it is the consistency of staying in there. I think my biggest challenges are confidence in what I'm doing, that I am authoritative on goal accountability to be a coach. So like I don't have a training or anything for that. And it's really taken at least 5 people in the last 3 or 4 weeks to rebrand as a goal accountability coach. I just did that 2 weeks ago to like really embrace that title and figure out how I can voice that and step up. Confidence. I think confidence and being consistent are my 2 biggest things. Confidence in myself that I can do the job and that I can do this business. I'll be honest, the last 2 months have been a big struggle. So to embrace a full-time business owner mindset and to embrace being a goal accountability coach. That coach word is the word that has a tendency to trip me up, but I don't quite know why. But yeah, I had a really hard time. I didn't want to add it or change it until just recently. And it was basically everybody kind of was like, okay, that's what you do. Like, this is, call yourself what you're doing. Stop shortchanging yourself. So I'm still struggling with that, what a goal accountability coach is and what that really means. So I think that's where my mindset issues are at.
Okay. And so, yeah, I think you bring a good point there, Sondra. Even though you know what to do in your business, it's sometimes just a little mindset tricks that trip you up and can actually make you pump the brakes for a minute. And you're like, although I know what I'm doing, I can't do this because, my mind is telling me, am I a coach? Am I really not a coach? I don't know. So, we do have my other guest, Val, here. And so let's bring Val into this portion of the conversation, since she is the mindset expert here. And Val, if you will dialogue with Sondra for a minute and really share with her some of your thoughts and insights on what she just shared about her mindset.
Oh, I have so many notes already going. It's hard for me to shut my mouth and let you guys go. So how many people have you already been helping do this with the accountability coaching?
As far like paying customers or just people in general?
No, just people in general. They don't have to pay you for you to get your expertise.
Oh, I would say, how many have I helped? Or 30, 40 people?
Right. And you've seen them get to their goals, right?
Yes.
So what makes you doubt that you know what you're doing?
I think it's I'm one piece of it. They have to do the work still. So it's still on them to do the work to get it done. I don't do the work for, as a VA, I've done things to help them with those pieces, and I still do that for my goal accountability clients, but it's still on them to do the Pinterest or do whatever that goal is. So I think that's where I struggle, is like, okay, I can shake my pom-poms and cheer them on, but in the end, if they don't do the work, it's not really my fault, because it's still on them to do the work. So I guess that's where I'm getting
Yeah.
stuck.
That's really a really hard transition, because you can give everybody every piece of information that they need. You can map it out, have the most beautiful plan, but if they're not ready to implement that, then it's hard to get out of that transition of feeling like you're a failure. So the big thing is, one thing I would suggest is grab some testimonials from those people. Get some testimonials from those people of how it's helped. If nothing else, it'll at least give you that folder in your email that you can go pull up and say, okay, yeah, I really did do that. So it helps for the confidence. But really focus on who you have been helping. And the other thing was, I had an issue with trying to figure out what my title was going to be as well.
Mm-hmm.
So what about coach is getting you?
That authority, like coaching, usually people, have been certified, or I've took this, or I've done that, or I'm making X amount of money because I've done all this, and I am not making a ton of money. Like a lot of my accountability stuff is free through different groups and stuff. I only have 2 paying customers like that. But yeah, I haven't looked at it the way you said, like how many people have you actually helped versus how many are your actual clients. So I guess when I hear coaches talk about how many clients they have, or I'm making 10K a month, or like all this craziness that they put behind as their authority, I don't have that. I feel I don't have that.
The comparison. So how many people do you think are actually inflating their numbers?
I
Do
think
you have any way to know if those are their actual numbers? Or
Yes.
right, yes. No, I do know from being in different groups and being on the inside of some agencies that yes, those numbers get extremely inflated. So
yeah, it's one of the hard parts, is to compare yourself to other people and you're not there, so you can't call yourself right. A piece of paper is not going to make you anything, because you can always go and get the different trainings that you want and write it down. I know you mentioned the no training, and that was another thing that I had personally battled with too when I was trying to figure out who I was going to be, because a lifestyle coach, they needed to, that paper and all of that. And then when I realized that, coaching's about the experiences that you've already created for other people.
Mm-hmm.
And being able to show people, hey, this is what I've already done. Is it possible there's another word that you'd feel more comfortable with?
maybe consult or strategist.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Strategist. I actually like that. I've not even thought of a different word. I just, like I said, I had so many people kind of pushing me. I have a people pleaser personality. So when you got your business coach and you got your mindset group all going, this is what you are, this is what you are, and you're going,
It gets hard, especially when you're in a circle of people that you've really trusted, or not even that, that you've just been around for a long time, and that they do know what they're doing. But that doesn't mean that everything's going to be a perfect fit for you. So I would play around with some of the words and see if mentor or partner or consult, if all of that just feels better for you. Because as soon as you can own the word, it's, I had people telling me that coach wasn't going to be the right word, or, there's so many people that are coaches, and as soon as I decided, hey, guess what? This is what I am. And I was like, I didn't hear anybody anymore.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's a really valid point. And, like Val mentioned, she struggled with that because she didn't do the certification and all of that. Sondra, I did the certification and I still struggled with it. That's funny, right? Yeah.
I got extra degrees out my ears, and none of those were degrees in coaching specifically.
That's right. And so,
but I'm okay with that term now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so I think being able to, like Val said, just play with words, because what I've learned over time in some of those groups, like you've talked about, where you're putting it out there and people are pushing you to, they don't really know you, and they don't really, because they haven't built that connection with you, so they don't really know who you are that way. And they can say, go ahead and use coach, own it, but inside, when you get to the inside of who Sondra is, and if Sondra doesn't feel comfortable using it, you're never going to use it. Like I said, I did the coaching certification and didn't feel comfortable using it. Mm-hmm. So it took me a long time to be able to use the word coach. So do what feels right for you. You know, one of the things that Val talks about is, you know, like I said, living life boldly. And a part of that boldness is to be comfortable in your own skin, you know, just being able to be comfortable with what fits you, because at the end of the day, you're only pleasing yourself. You don't have to please anybody else. I give you permission, Sondra.
I'd go through, even like just pull up the thesaurus and go through the words in there that are around coaching and that kind of thing, and then mull over, you know, there's usually a couple of them that are going to be like, yeah, that one's not bad, and then consider talking to some stranger downtown. And how would you feel comfortable describing yourself? You know, like you said, consultant might work. You know, if you're going to walk up to somebody and you're going to be like, I'm a coach, and you're not going to like feel it, then just take that word out. The awesome thing is it's not in your domain, so you can change to whatever you want.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I laugh about that because I went to a networking event once. And I did that, you know, I introduced myself as a coach, and I did it. It was so weak. It was lame. It was awful. And the person to me said, are you a coach?
Right. Are you sure?
Oh, yeah. I quickly changed it after that and I said, I'm not using this term again until I feel comfortable with it.
Right.
So, yeah.
I'm not the mindset expert necessarily, although I do talk a lot about marketing mindset. But don't also, you know, you've got permission from Val and Kimberly, but I'm also going to push back and say, don't let the permission to say, well, I'm not a coach, stop you from going out and doing coach type things, perhaps. Mm-hmm. You know, don't let, well, I'm uncomfortable with that. I feel the imposter syndrome on this. So I'm just going to embrace the imposter syndrome and forget that I decided to call myself a coach. Mm-hmm. You know, so I would ask Val, what would be the next step to embracing not only what's comfortable, but, you know, a term that your audience is going to understand, and to go out and, you know, boldly own that. How do you get to boldly owning that if coach is the term that best conveys what you do?
Well, because I think that there's more than one term for everything. There's more than one way to describe it. So that's why I really think that consulting is very similar to coaching without that stigma word that some people are stuck on not being a coach because they associate coach with sports, which was why I leaned into it, because I've always been big on sports.
You are.
Right. Yeah, because I am a track coach. So that's why it was easy. If you lean into finding, you know, like you said, that confidence of what you're doing right now is one big issue too. So it's easy to grab on hold of the word coach because you're just still feeling a little wishy-washy about your confidence on what you're doing and how well you already do it. So it's easy to pinpoint that on the word coach.
Right.
Did that make any sense on that one?
No, it
I'm
does.
working it out in my head as I'm talking.
I'm using the word coach as a crutch, but it's really more about the confidence in myself and what I do than it is about that actual word.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just the roadblock because it's just a word.
Right.
You still are doing all of that other stuff. So I think if you really lean into the fact that you've helped so many people and write down how many people you have helped, you know, make a document of how many people you have helped. Even if you can write down a little bit of what they started at and where they are now, that'll really help build your confidence because you were a major part in getting them there.
Right.
You know, I can create a plan all day long. I've been really good for years at creating plans, but having people help me with the action steps is huge. Accountability is huge.
And Sondra, I will say that when Val talked about getting those testimonials and being able to have them, of course, you know, they serve multiple purposes. They serve a mindset and a marketing purpose. Just being able to read back through those when that thing in your mind tells you, that helped me a lot. When that thing in your mind tells you, when you're waffling about your confidence, being able to read back through those testimonials, like Val said, will kind of reinforce that. And it'll be like, my mind is playing tricks on me and trying to tell me I don't, but look, I've done this. Here's the visual proof. I've done this. And to be able to help people that have multiple businesses get all of that straight and keep their accountability, that's huge, Sondra. That's huge.
Thank you.
And to realize that your mindset's going to do this.
Oh yeah.
We have this stupid thing of being human, so I will go plenty of days where I am rocking my bold life, and then all of a sudden I will have some silly little roadblock pop up, and I am on my Voxer with my coach going, I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. You know?
I know. Yeah. Absolutely.
So not expecting it to always be that you're always confident, you know, even if it's something that you just completely rock at, there's just going to be, sometimes there's a roadblock, you know, that's going to push you, you know, out of your comfort zone, and you're going to be like, well, crap, no, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to go back to this, you know, little spot.
Right.
So
yeah.
Cool.
Good advice. Love it. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I would challenge you to write that list. Write that list out of how many people you've helped and how you've helped them.
Great.
I think that's going to blow your confidence out of the water.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And think of everything you have ever done, Sondra. Even if you're a great cake baker, you won't be surprised at how all those things just validate who you are and help make you feel so much better. I've done this exercise before. I know it. I know how much better I feel.
Yeah, it's one of the big steps we do in my What Do I Want workshop. Is write every little thing down. I don't even care how big or small it is. Write it all down, because you never know where it's going to lead.
Right, and I tell my our clients, or even my Facebook page or whatever, I'll say, celebrate the wins, whether they're small or big. You know, you got out of bed. Some people, that's a huge win for. You showed up in the group. That's, you know, that's a big one. So yeah, I do encourage that from others, and I just need to take my own advice, I think.
Oh yeah, I hear that. Yep.
Do
We're all in the same boat. Yep.
Do as I say.
I've had a lot of do as I say, not as I do moments lately.
Yep.
Yeah. But you know, just to bring that all home, that's why we're coaches, and that's why we as coaches need coaches, because we know what to do, but sometimes we just need someone to talk to remind us that's what we need to do, because we already know what to do. My you know, my mentor doesn't tell me anything that I don't really know already. When she's sitting there trying to pick up my spirits, it's things I already know already, but I just need to hear it from somebody else. You know, so
very true. Very
awesome. Awesome. So Sondra, once again, we talked about your mindset some. So now let's talk about your marketing some. Are there some challenges that you're having with your marketing that Jennifer can help you with, and maybe just share some insights?
Marketing. So right now I'm using all free stuff. I'm not paying for marketing ads or boosts or anything like that. I'm just doing promo in Facebook groups. I'm on IG, I'm on LinkedIn. My biggest thing is adding value to groups. So I try to go in, I'm not consistent. It's something I need to get back to being consistent with. But adding value to groups, putting value on my page itself, on my IG page, my LinkedIn page. I do have a freebie planner thing right now. I'm doing a free pop-up group right now. I'm getting ready to start. I'm in the process of starting Pinterest and trying to be visible. So far, it's not leading me to new clientele. So, I feel like I'm out there and trying to be visible, but I'm not getting like the traffic to the website's not stagnant. I mean, it's steady, like, but not super high. And yeah, I'm not getting scheduled calls. I do free consult calls. I mean, it's not something I charge for, but they're just not being booked. Like, I haven't had any new clients in months, and I need new clients.
The first good thing I can tell you is we've all been in that boat, and just like Val talked about mindset doing like this, one of the biggest tips in terms of when you start off as a solopreneur is finding consistency in cash flow, consistency in your marketing efforts, consistency in clients. So the good news is you're not alone. The bad news is that doesn't make you feel any better.
Not really.
So I can give you a couple of things off just from what I looked at your presence online, and a couple of things for you to think about. And I really appreciate that what Kimberly said earlier in the conversation about, I'm seeing some patterns in who your clients have been right now, and that could be a niche for you. And talking about consistency. And one thing that I tell my clients is that you're not marrying your marketing forever, for life.
Right.
Okay? You're not even marrying your niche for life.
Mm-hmm.
You need to stick with something long enough so you can see whether it works or not.
Mm-hmm.
So you can try something and be consistent at trying it, but you're going to collect data. You're like, you know what? This doesn't fit. We're going to pivot a little bit more, or we're going to pivot a little bit more. Maybe not a whole 180.
Right.
I think the question I have for you first is, have you written down, have you defined in your head who your ideal client is or would be?
I've done that exercise a couple of times. I feel my ideal client is somebody that owns multiple businesses, creative, ADHD, knows where they want to go, like knows where they want their business to go to, and is willing to listen and take advice.
Do you know, have you dug deeper into, okay, what type of business, are those small businesses? Are they other solopreneurs? Are they mostly women? Are they most, men? Is it mixed? Does it matter? Are they all older? Have you seen other patterns? How fleshed out have you made? Because what you just said is great, and that could be an excellent niche. How much further have you dug?
Women, older. I think that's as farthest I've done. Usually they're like the main owners of businesses. Yeah.
So, and
super deep dive, no.
Okay, that's fine. That'd be one exercise I would say is, take 30 minutes and literally write it out almost like a story.
Mm-hmm.
Give them a name. You're creating in marketing terms, it's a persona, but think about everything that might be a descriptor of them. Creative in what way? Is it mean creative because they write books, creative because they're painters, creative because they also own marketing agencies? Define what creative might mean, what type of creative they might be. What types of businesses do they own? Do their businesses have employees, or do they outsource everything and they're a solopreneur, but they're a solopreneur with multiple businesses? Think about where this person is most likely, you think, and this is all going to be guesstimates right now, because the next stage of this would be actually digging a little bit deeper. But where do they like to hang out? What kinds of magazines do they read? Do they listen to podcasts? Which podcasts do you think they might be listening to? What business books do you think they may be reading? Which other Facebook groups? Do they follow bloggers? What bloggers might they be following? and you're trying to get inside their head, and you're imagining getting inside their head right now because you're not in, and you can also ask the ones that you're working with and the ones you worked with, you're doing a little surreptitious research on them, figuring out, well, I think they're reading this and I think they follow this. And you can even ask them back.
Right.
You can ask, it's like, do you follow podcasts? Who do you really like? Do you have a favorite, blog that you follow all the time for really good advice in your business? Because you seem like you have a lot of great ideas. And literally fill that out. Because I heard you talking about being in Facebook groups and you're bringing value, and absolutely value first. But maybe you're not in the right groups. Maybe you need to be in different groups. And maybe you need to be in different groups just so you can listen in. It's social listening is an act of research, and you want to see what the people that might be your ideal clients are talking about, because then you can see the problems they talk about. And if you can see the problems they talk about, you know how you can offer them solutions. You're like, oh, I so could be completely helping you with that and juggling all these projects that you've got going on. Like, I'm great at that. And then you can start to offer something to them and value. But that was the first exercise, because here's the thing. You need to take that information and it needs to be forefront on your website, on your social profiles, because it's not really clear right now from your web presence who you serve, how you help them, the transformations you help them achieve. Because that's going to be the number one factor that you're not getting conversions to your opt-in or to your calls, because people don't know. They don't know that you're talking to them, the creative ADHD business owner who needs help holding their feet to the fire to get shit done.
Right.
And I think you know this, and you told me you just rebranded and you're just embracing this. But I'd say that might be the first thing you work on before you go out and join Pinterest, before you do another thing on LinkedIn. Fix your home base first.
Yeah. Right. That makes sense.
And that's the other, I would push back. You're talking about going on to Pinterest. Can I ask why?
I like Pinterest. I also know Pinterest is where a lot of people go for ideas and especially creative people. So I feel that it's a definite place where my clientele would hang out. So
good. Because that's always the question I ask when folks are talking about where they are in social is, are you going where your audience is, not just because it's where you like to hang out? And you're so yes, the creative folks are on there. But I'd say before you actually do it, or you've got the business profile, know what you're going to do when you get there. Know what you're going to be posting, and having a plan on Pinterest, and more importantly, a plan to be bringing them back to specific places on your website.
Right.
When you're talking about in the groups where you've been adding value and helping, how often are you also promoting what you do, or asking them to come back to your website or to check out your opt-in?
I do try to do at least one, if the group has, not every group has promo days, but I try to do at least 1 or 2 promo days in each group. It's 8 or 9 groups. I have a list that I keep so I'm organized in doing it. With being in so many different groups. I do, if I see somebody asking for goal accountability or something like that, I will either promo myself or I will ask somebody to recommend me, so that it's not always coming straight from me as far as promoting.
Great.
Can I ask, in those promo groups, have you ever seen that you've gotten traffic from those promo groups, from the promos themselves, for how much time it takes to do it?
I do know that I got my two people in my pop-up group from a promo one, but I don't know as far as like my getting back to my page. No, I don't. Totally.
Yeah, I just know from experience and watching some other clients that those promo groups, people go and post and then they don't hang out. They just know they can go in there, and every Monday they put a post on, but they don't hang out and read anybody else's stuff. So I would just balance how much it's taking you to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And you could possibly be doing something else.
It depends on the group. If there's a group where and it's funny, I was watching somebody else's Facebook Live this week and talking about the groups that have what we call drive-by link dropping. You know, it's drive-by promos, where people come in, they drop their links to the promos on Friday, and then nothing else happens, or there's no other conversation the rest of the days, or there's no other giving and taking, then yeah, it's like you've just dropped it into the middle of the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas groups that are more engaged on other days and other topics might be also engaged on, Friday promo day or Monday promo day.
Mm-hmm.
If the group is nothing but drive-by link dropping, get out.
Yeah, I have a couple that I'm going to re-examine now that I have a schedule going and just be like, okay, nobody else is posting except for, like you said, on the Friday or the Monday or whatever. It's kind of dead versus.
Got it.
That is definitely something I've been reevaluating what groups I'm into. And I actually literally printed out the list of groups that I'm in. Talk about paper and ink. It's like, okay, this is crazy. Why am I in so many groups? But yeah, I definitely am evaluating. And right now, my promo schedule I have for myself are the groups that I mainly do go to already. And then I definitely want to reevaluate after a couple of weeks of doing it. Is that, where I truly should be, or should I be going somewhere else? Because I'm not touching every group every day, that's for sure, or even a couple times a day or a couple times a week.
Fair, great. So you're doing some, you're working on consistency in those areas, and that helps in printing it out, and keeping the list. And it's funny, Val and I actually have a webinar coming up about Trello, because both of us are trying to have less of 1,000 zillion Post-it notes and less paper. I mean, I go back and forth, paper, digital.
I use Trello.
So
I love Trello.
Books.
So Trello. So yeah, we're each talking about it from both the bold life and the marketing standpoint, because it's a great way to have checklists and keep lists of, here's the group.
Oh yeah, it's in Trello. It's in Trello. The promo group is in Trello. I have Trello. In fact, I had to upgrade to the small paid package because I had maxed out.
That's impressive. I haven't met anybody yet in 5 years who's had to pay.
I know, that is.
Wow.
I didn't even know that was an option to max out.
So
I've got a gazillion boards. I've never had to pay. So wow.
Well, I think because I set up client boards for clients, so I think that's why I maxed out more than the fact that boards. It's the fact that I have so many. So yeah, because both my clients use Trello too.
And I want to make sure that we also don't lose when Val was talking about making the list of everybody that you've talked to, you've helped, and going through and how you help them get from an A to a B. That testimonials are marketing gold. Right. That anything you can get that is written, and again, this is where Val was absolutely correct. It doesn't have to have come from a paid client. It could even have come as a testimonial from your job. In the past, it could come from a volunteer group. If you helped them do the things that you're doing now or want to be doing now with paid clients, to gather those up as succinct testimonials and quotes and have those on your website. Absolutely, they've got to be there, because that's going to also help you convert to those free calls, and to make sure that, if somebody had a free call with you and it was helpful, then you put the testimonial on the free call page. If somebody got a great tip from the emails that you sent to them, you put that on the email sign-up page. You put the great testimonials, because, how you helped hold somebody to the fire and they got a project done under goal accountability, you put that on the page with your goal accountability services. And you get to look at it yourself from a mindset standpoint, like Val mentioned, and remember that you do know this, but you're showing everybody else that you know this too, and other people have said you know this. Right. And social proof is a huge one in getting conversions, whether it's a conversion to a call, to an email, to signing up for your services. Right. And the other way you can help do this is you create a free Google form to help collect it, to make it easier on you to if you haven't thought about that. You know, so that when they come in and it just becomes part of your routine, when you complete a project with a client, you're like, that's awesome. I'm going to send, when you send the invoice and you send the form that asks them
I do
the
that.
testimonial
I do
and a
that.
referral.
I do have a feedback form.
Excellent. But not just feedback. You want to make sure that you design it specifically to get something that you can use as a testimonial.
Yeah,
Feedback,
I think it does. Yeah, it does both. It's got
Okay.
feedback, and then at the bottom it says, "Will you do a testimonial for?"
Don't even ask them if they want to do a testimonial. You're going to get the testimonial in that form. You're like, how did I, what was it that you wanted to achieve before we were working together? How is your life, project, business different now that we did goal accountability together? Make it easy for them to answer, because if you ask them, will you give me a testimonial? They're like, yeah, but then you've got a gazillion emails that got to go back and forth to actually get the testimonial. Get the testimonial in the form by asking them, what was the problem beforehand? How was life sucking and business sucking because you didn't have a goal accountability partner? How is life shining brightly and boldly now that we did this together? So you've got that transformation, and they've done it all. Boom, boom. It's in the form. It's done.
I do like that. Yep.
Yeah. Make it easy. I usually don't want to give a testimonial back when someone just says, can you give me a testimonial? And I'm like, yeah. So I'm waiting for them to send me some prompts or something. And they're not sending me anything. And I never really ever do the testimonial because it's like, oh, I want it to be easy.
Like, I don't know what to say. Where do I start? And here's the other one. You don't want, it's great when you get emails back that says, oh, thank you so much. That was awesome. You are awesome. Save those in an email. For God's save them, because you need to read the you are awesome ones. But here's the painful marketing truth. They don't do anything for you when you put them on your website and share them. They're generic.
Yeah, it's like, what does being awesome mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Fluff.
Right. And I'm the no fluff, no BS coach. So it's like, it's fluff. You want them to specifically say, I had this problem. Now I don't have this problem anymore. Thanks to Sondra.
Okay.
And you're like, okay. And it's okay. Go around and look at some other coaches. Go look at some other VAs. Look and see what types of things they've got on their websites in testimonials and what types of people say, because that can help you craft the questions that you put in your form so that you're getting back concrete, we got this done sort of thing.
Right.
Yeah. Sondra, I will say, I will say that when I first talked to you and you said you were kind of VA, and then, you had the word VA there, and then you came back and said you were an accountability coach. I said, oh, that's confusing. In my mind, I thought that. And then you kind of explained that, you were rebranding, in the process of rebranding. And then when I looked at your website, it was just so generic that I couldn't really kind of tell anything. And so a minute ago when you first started introducing yourself, and you were talking about just working with all these creatives and being able to help them in multiple projects, a light bulb went on for me. I was like, oh, that's a great niche. And I could visually almost see you talking to them, specifically to them, on your page, and that would have made, of course I would have went there and I would have said, I may not have that creative spirit, but you would have still been talking about things that specifically speak to people who have businesses. And I would have been able to, it would,
right.
Yeah. So it's just that your page doesn't really speak to people, yeah.
And it's the toughest thing in terms of marketing is going ahead and embracing and narrowing down to have a niche, and then owning it and putting that out there. And again, this goes back to, you don't have to marry this forever, but that's one of the things where, you can be doing all those other things. You can be out there on Pinterest with a great looking graphic. You can be in a Facebook group and giving great value. But at the end of the day, they're going to come back. They're going to check your website. They're going to see who you are. And they run into the mismatch because you haven't had the time yet maybe to follow through on the rest of the branding.
Mm-hmm.
but before you do anything else on social media, before you do another post in LinkedIn, before you do anything anywhere else, take what you've told us today about who you've been working with and get that clear on your site, get it clear on your services, and this is who I help, and this is what I help them do, and this is the benefits they get from all of that, because then everything else can follow, because then you can feel consistent in what you do in terms of social media, because now it makes sense when you're sending them back there in terms of traffic. That's where you're going to start leading, hopefully start seeing a better result in terms of clients, because they're going to know who you are talking to.
Correct.
Yeah.
Is that something that feels comfortable? Is that something you feel you can go
that's
and act on?
definitely, yes.
Yeah, because it may make the difference in clients and no clients, because a creative never knew that she needed you until she came to your site and saw that. And you're speaking directly to her and she's like, oh my God, I need that in my life.
Right.
Yes, I need that. And so that it just makes all the difference in the world. So yeah. Okay, so we are wrapping this up. Before we leave, really quickly, I think you ladies have just been awesome. Thank you so much for coming in. And before we leave, I want to give Sondra, Val, and Jennifer an opportunity to share with us just one event or offering that is their hot offering right now, so my audience will be able to know all three of you ladies better and to be able to check you out. And just so you know, I am going to add all of your information, all of your website and social media links on the podcast page for this podcast when I publish it. So everybody who listens to this podcast will be able to find you wherever you are and take advantage of your services. Definitely share anything you'd like to share really quickly about any offers or events you have going on.
Everybody all at once.
Yeah.
Okay, really quickly. My absolute favorite product that I've been running for the last year, and I'm going to start running it live quarterly, is my What Do I Want workshop. Being in that empty nest and going through the different roles that I've had to change as I changed from being a parent to adult parenting, of course. I really had to work through it. And while I worked through it, I created this workshop that I absolutely adore. So it's going to help you go through, what do you want to do with the rest of your days? We have so many days, tons of days left. Being over 40 is the fun part, Kimberly. I feel like I got freedom now.
I'm trying to be with Val and embrace the freedom too, but
Yeah.
And sorry for me flying off screen.
No,
to get the battery for my laptop.
No, you're fine. No problem.
So actually, I have something right now, because you talked about consistency, and consistency is something all of us struggle with. Even we have our creative moments and consistency and smarter habits. And I think the great news, you're already using Trello. You've already got a plan and schedule for what groups you're going to go in and you're posting. But I'm running a challenge in October. We'll call it a lightweight challenge. It's not a stretch out of your, hurt yourself challenge. It's the Mighty Marketing Mojo, Mighty Smart Marketing Habits. It's me sending tips and reminders for 30 days during the month of October to remind us about the small habits we can build in our marketing in 15 to 30 minutes a day. So, and right now through the end of the week, the challenge is on sale for $5. There's a coupon code on the page for only $5. And I'm just really excited about helping folks find the tips that help them to have good habits for them and their personal marketing mojo. And they might be different tips that Kim embraces versus Val embraces versus me and Sondra. So I'm really excited about this. Is the second month-long marketing challenge that I've done this year. So I'm excited about that. That might be a good fit for you.
Very nice. Oh, I got to get that. It's $5. I can't pass that up. Sondra, do you have any specials going on or any events you're offering?
I do have my freebie opt-in for my email list, which is a daily planner sheet. So it's all nice and pretty and colorful. And then that gets you on my email list where I send out goal accountability tips and tricks. So that is what I'm offering. That's on my website.
Oh, very nice. I have to sign up for that. Okay, ladies. Oh, wow. So much going on. The purpose of this was really to just highlight at a deeper level, what the benefits of being able to coach through situations that deal with mindset and marketing to be able to get better results. And so, Sondra, that's what really we're focused on for you. And just to recap some things that Val and Jennifer gave you as kind of like homework, is to work on your testimonials and review those to help with your confidence, to try out different words besides coaching to use for what you want to do, because you are already doing the work. You're already the expert and you're already super smart. Drill down to your niche, because I think you've got a great opportunity there, and let that niche speak through on your website. So when people who actually need that, they'll know you're talking directly to them. And just reevaluating some of the Facebook groups that you're in from a time perspective to be able to make sure that they're effective. All righty. Ladies, thank you so much for joining me on Inspired Women, Amazing Lives, where we are working doubly hard to inspire women to live their most amazing life. Thank you so much. And we will give you an update on Sondra's business and highlight Sondra's business. We'll have her back and we'll talk in depth a little bit more about what she has done with her business in a month or two since we've spoken to her. And that's it for this episode. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Thank you, Kimberly.
Thank you. This was
Thank you,
awesome.
Kimberly.
All right, bye. Welcome to Inspired Women, Amazing Lives podcast, where we seek to thrive, flourish, and celebrate amazing women. Kimberly Wiggins here, and we are hosting inspired women who are sharing their lives and stories so that other women may know that the journey to your amazing life is definitely within reach. We are here every week to share resources and information that will help you along the journey to being that inspired woman leading an amazing life. Remember to like, comment, and most definitely share these episodes with another woman that you admire and one who truly inspires you. Or simply share it with someone you would like to inspire. Enjoy!